Today's topic is functions. In functions, we can say this is about the equations or the relation. But one thing just you remember, all functions are equations, but all equations cannot be function. This is not equal. Just I'm want to say this. There's a relation between functions and equation. Okay. Now what we have to do, for example, y equals to 3x plus 2. This is an equation and this is also called a function. For example, y equals to 3x square and plus 2x and plus 5. This is also an equation and also a function. But when I write y square is equals to x, this is an equation, but this is not function. Not a function. Okay, this is function and this is equation of function. Why? Because when I write take any of the value of x, suppose x is 1, so y is coming and y equals to 312 is 5. This is called the object or the input, and this is called the output. Sometimes we can say the image, and we can also say the range. Okay, this is the first value, x is 1 and y is 5. This is called 1 to 1 function. Because when I put the value x1, this always give us only one value of y. This second part, when I take this equation, not this equation, when I take 3x squared plus 2. Okay, x is 2, so y is coming 3, 2 squared plus 2, and y is equals to 3 and 2 squared is 4, 12 and plus 2 is 14. Y is coming 14. When I take x is minus 2, suppose minus 2, what's the value of y? Y is equals to 3 minus 2 whole square plus 2. 3, this will become plus, and y is equals to again 12 plus 2 is 14. What's the problem? This image or the range, or this image or the range is coming same. This is called 1 to 2 function. 1 to 2 function. So, but when I use this equation, like x is equals to suppose 4, so y squared is equals to 4, and when I find the value of y is coming under root 4, and when I find the value of y is coming 1 plus 2 and 1 time minus 2. How many images are there? How many ranges are there? There are 2 images, 2 values of y. When we have 2 images of y, this is called not a function. That's the reason. We should always have one image. Like we can have 2 equations, but the image is coming 14. And here the image, one value of x and y is coming 5. This is only one image. Okay. This normally in functions in equation we write y equals to 3x plus 2, and in functions we can write, that's y is equals to f of x. We replace this here, so function will be f of x is equals to 3x plus 2. So it means this equation can be written f of x is equals to 3x plus 2, an example of function, and this equation can be also written as fx is equals to 3x squared and plus 2. So this is the explanation for the function. In O levels paper 4024 O levels maths, We had different types of question regarding functions. I would like to give some examples from the past papers. Which type of question we have in the paper? Okay, the first. This is from June 2008 and November 2008, paper 1. Normally we can see this type of question in paper 1 without using calculator. This is one example of function. In this part, what we are having this find f of minus 2. We write f of minus 2. Okay, wherever we have x, we write minus 2 and plus 2. This is minus 10 plus 2 and answer is coming minus 8. This is called f of minus 2 and we have done it. This is part A. Now part B, like we are finding inverse. Okay, inverse, to find inverse we have a specific method here to solve. I would like to explain how to find inverse function. To finding inverse function, there are some steps to remember. Step number 1, we have to replace f of x with y. So, okay, B, the question is f of x is equals to 5x plus 2. I have to replace this with y. Y is equals to 5x plus 2. This is step number 1. I have done it. Okay. Okay. Now I am moving to step number 2. Step number 2 is make x the subject of the formula. Okay. This x subject of the formula we are writing here. So step number 2 is I want to make x as a subject, so I can write 5x plus 2 is equals to y. In left hand side I'm writing 5x is equals to y minus 2 and x is equals to y minus 2 upon 5. This is step number 2. Step number 3. What is step number 3? In step number 3, what we have to do, we have to replace. There are two replacement. Replace x will become f inverse x and y will become x. So it means first I will make this x as f inverse, so that will become f inverse x. 5 is here, 2 is here, and this y will become x. So now this is called the inverse function, and just to remember there are 3 steps. Step number 1, step number 2 and step number 3. Okay, we have done this question with an example. Second question, we are finding f of 3. So it's very simple. We can write f of 3. So f of 3 is equals to 4 times 3 plus 3 divided by 2 times 3. 12 plus 3 divided by 6, and when you simplify is coming 15 upon 6, and you can simplify that f of 3 is becoming, you can cancel 3 times 2 and 3 times 5, 5 upon 2 or 2.5. You can write the answer, or 2 whole 1 upon 2. We've done A part. This B part, again we are moving to the steps. Step number 1 is what I'm solving here. Step number 1 is this fx will be equals to y. Y equals to 4x plus 3 divided by 2x. Okay, step number 2, be careful. This is a little bit difficult. Step number 2 is make x the subject. Okay, subject of the formula x, but here x is 2 times. So what's the method here? Please be careful. Y will multiply with this 2x and 4x plus 3. 2xy minus 4x is equals to 3. Whenever we have the subject is 2 times, we have to take common. X is equals to 2y minus 4 equals to 3. And finally is becoming x is equals to 3 upon 2y minus 4. Step number 3. Okay, step number 3 is what? Step number 3 we are doing replacing. Okay, this x will become f inverse x, and this y will become x, and that's your final answer. And we have done it. This is two questions from the past papers. We have done it. Okay, moving to second example, like more questions. This is one of the questions from past paper. This is June 2009 paper 1, question 16. Equation is given. I have selected some questions which are not similar. That's why we can have some practice. Part A. Part A is f of x. The question is 12 minus 5x, and the requirement is find f of 4. F of 4 we write. F of 4 is 12 minus 5 of 4. 12 minus 20, and answer is coming minus 8. So we can write this. We have done it. Okay, part B. Part B, find the value of x. This is very good example. The f of x is equals to 17. Students do the mistake here. They write x is 17. No, but f of x is 17. Be careful. So what we can do in the place of the f of x, we are writing, first I'm copying the question. This is 17, not x. Please be careful. Huh? This is good, important question, important part. This 5x is plus and 12 minus 17. And 5 is x is equals to 17 minus 12 is 5, negative 5. And x is equals to minus 5 upon 5 is minus 1. And we have done it. Okay. Part C. Again, we are finding inverse function. And you know, the inverse function method, step number 1 is what? Step number 1 is we write fx equals to y. So this fx will become y equals to 12 minus 5x. Step number 2, make x the subject. Okay, x subject, y plus 5x is equals to 12. Please remember your subject should be positive and should be in left hand side, better to write. And x is equals to 12 minus y divided by 5. Step number 3, we have to replace x with f inverse and y with x, and that's your final equation, and we have done. I hope so you understood this part of function. I have one more example. Question. This is one of the good example. This is the oldest paper, but I believe this is very important example. Part A is very simple. Just you need to do very simple this. We have two equations, f of x and g of x. Please be careful. This is quadratic equation. So f of minus 5 I am putting here in the equation is equals to 2 times minus 5 minus 7 minus 10 minus 7, and final answer is minus 17. So f of minus 5 is minus 17. Moving to part B1. B1 is obtain an equation for f inverse. Okay, f inverse is very simple. Step number 1, y is equals to 2x minus 7. Step number 1 is we replace with this y. Step number 2, make x subject. To make x subject, x should be positive, so I am writing here 2x is equals to y plus 7. Please do step by step so that you cannot do the mistake to making the subject. This is step number 1. Step number 2, we have done it. Okay, step number 3 is replacing. This will become f inverse and y will become x, and this is your final answer. We have done it. Okay, f inverse 15, so you can just do it here, that you can put the value 15 in the same equation. 15 plus 7 divided by 2 is coming 22 upon 2 is coming 11. So f inverse 15 is 11. We have done it. C part is very important part. Like this is new. This we can see the first part is gx is equals to 0, and gx, you can see gx is here. So gx, we can write x minus 6 equals to 0. You don't need to multiply, please. Factors are already done. So x is equal to 0. And x minus 6 is also equal to 0. And x is equals to 6. This is the way you can solve it. Don't multiply and make this complicated, please. Don't make it. First part done. Second part is f of x is equals to g of x. That means I'm solving this part here. Fx is 2x minus 7 is equals to g of x is x and x minus 6. What you can do, you have to multiply x squared minus 6x. Now this is called, I'm writing this right side first. X squared minus 6x is equals to 2x minus 7. X squared minus 6x. Okay, add a space here. X squared minus xx minus 2x plus 7 equals to 0. X squared minus 8x plus 7 equals to 0. Can you make the factors? Multiply to get 7 and plus to get 8. X squared minus x minus 7x plus 7 equals to 0. X is common, x minus 1. 7 is common, x minus 1. And finally, this will come x minus 1, x plus 7 equals to 0, and you can get x minus 1 is 0 and x equals to 1, x plus 7 equals to 0 and x equals to minus 7, and that's we have done it. I hope that you understood this topic function with some of the example. I would also like to solve other questions in the function. Thank you so much.